Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all the new features and different features we have on the new Takistan conflict server that we've been working on for the past few months. We will be releasing in the coming weeks, or depending when you watch this video, we might have already released, so all the details will be down in the description below. So we'll get right into it. So to start off with, we have this Y menu. It's just an iPad, nothing special, but, a lot of fucking servers just take the typical fucking iPhone X and the exact same icon, so it spices it up a little bit. We'll start off with the 911 call. It's pretty simple. You can message police or EMS. It has a bunch of presets. So if you've just seen murder, you can click make call. It will say EMS or emergency services have been notified, and that will send it straight to the send your location and stuff straight to the police, saying there's been a murder, whatever, and they'll be able to come straight to you. The next thing is the loan shark. So at the start, you're able to take out a $25,000 loan. So I've already got a loan out, which means I have to pay it. So let me just quickly pay that so I can show this off. So you go here and you're able to take a $25,000 loan with a 7% interest rate. This will actually be going up prior to release because at the moment it's kind of really OP and almost gives people unlimited money. But pretty much, you have $25,000 you can take out, and then you just go like this, take out loan, and it takes out 26,750. So it instantly adds the interest as you take it away. But then you pay it back, obviously. Otherwise, you can't take out another loan in the future. So if you spend that on, whatever the fuck you want, then obviously you're down this much. And if you ever want another loan in the future, you have to pay it back. And then once you've paid it back, you can then get another 25k. So it's pretty nice to give a head start. Or if you're completely out of money and you need, to take out a loan to get a car so you can do runs or whatever it may be. If you want to fucking take out a loan just so you can get a gun and rob some people, whatever your way of making money is, this is a pretty nice feature. We've got a guide that goes over pretty much everything, but I won't go through all that. If you really need that when you log on the server, then you can use it. We got the typical Maverick skill tree, although there is some custom things here. We got, oh, this is actually being removed, but as of right now, and I don't know whether it'll be on release, but you can get up to 7% faster player speed, which is pretty ridiculous, but it's just out of the box stuff that aren't on the normal servers. Respawn time increase, spawn at Rebel, pretty typical. This one here, you can get a bigger loan. So once you unlock this, you'll be able to take out a lot more than 25k, but obviously the higher the amount, the more interest and the more you have to pay back. So it can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. Factory manager, so there's a factory where you can craft weapons and do other things there. This will reduce the production time significantly. Aside from that, that's pretty much just the basic stuff that you see on every other server, so we won't get too much into that. Next, we have the App Store. So there's a bunch around the map, like the market, the ATMs, and stock market, and things like that we'll get into in the future. But rather than having to drive to them, which you can do if you want, and everyone can do it, or buy a license, you can just go to your phone and purchase the app. And then once you've gone to the app, you'll be able to open it, in your phone rather than having to go to the location of it. So in the black market currently, there's 5 different airdrops with different tiers of loot in them, and you can call them in by clicking buy. And the airdrop, unfortunately, doesn't drop above you because that would probably be pretty OP, but you pay the money and then the airdrop drops randomly somewhere on the map. So you're basically paying for a global airdrop, but if you have the people to fight for it or you just want some PvP, you can make the PvP happen. So next up we have the stock market, which is a pretty cool feature. Basically, there's a bunch of different stocks that are constantly updating and randomly changing. It's complete RNG, sort of. So let's just say Brody's Topless Maids, stock worth 0, owned shares 0, difference blah blah blah, share price. So we'll buy. Oh, actually, this isn't a good one to do it with. Let's see. We'll do this one. So share price is 3,450. You can buy a max of 100 shares. So we'll buy 100 shares, which means our stock worth is 345k. This is constantly going up and down, and based on basically RNG, you might make heaps of money or you might throw your money away, depending. So I've bought this many shares, obviously 345k. This number can significantly go up or down. It's the same as how stocks work in real life, pretty much. But the cool thing about this is there's 2 ways you can actually affect stock market yourself. So one of them, you go into your map and you go to pharmacy. Now, the pharmacy is a place you can rob, similar to a gas station, except it's a different building. And the pharmacy, you'll be able to, once you've robbed it, it'll affect the stock market prices, meaning they'll change based on your robbery. So you can actually do something that will affect the stock market and could make you make more money or make other things crash, etc. I'm not 100% sure exactly how it works at the moment, but you'll be able to figure that out once you get on the server. The other one is the stock market, the stock exchange major crime. You go and get a USB virus from the special equipment dealer, and then you go and hack the stock exchange, and that will also affect it, which is a pretty nice feature. So it's kind of gambling, kind of some skill involved, but overall it's pretty good. The next bit is our scoreboard. It's just the top 10 players and all their stats. Currently it only shows 3 because it is online players. Oh, it's actually not, it's offline, so it was just online, but I guess it's changed. So it shows your funds, your level, playtime, all that shit, logins, and then for all you little rands that like to shoot each other and shit talk, you can see your KD to flex on each other in fucking general chat. Alrighty, so we have animations, just typical animations that a lot of servers have, but why the fuck not? Nothing more to it really. Bunch of dances and some other shit, and then just return to normal to change that. We already went over the black market, just the airdrops. We've got a nice gang system here, and there's actually some cool features to it. So you see gang bank, gang XP, gang rank, things like this. So we have obviously upgrade gang to improve the members. That's just all default stuff. But then you go to gang bank, and you see I have 9k. I can withdraw that straight into my funds. And obviously anyone who's in your gang with a certain rank is able to. You'll find out the permissions sometime later on, or once you join the server. But if you go to member management, you can set your gang frequency, so it encrypts the frequency and no one else can use it, which is pretty similar to some servers, but it's just a nice feature. And then we go into gang perks. Now the perk system, there's various ways around the map, like capturing capture zones, I think killing other gang members in KOS zones, and I think there's a few other ways, but rather than how you earn the XP, I'll explain what the XP does. So it says here I got 50 gang XP. I need to get 100 XP to rank up to the next level. So you go private, sergeant, lieutenant, major, colonel. Every single level, you unlock stuff for your gang. So everyone in your gang will get reduced recoil, unlimited lockpicks, gang frequency. Lieutenant gives you this, major gives you all this. So basically, based on how well your gang's doing and how advanced you are, how much you've leveled up, how much you've captured, blah, 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 you will be able to get all these gang perks, which is pretty unique and you don't really see on any server. We got the in-game command whitelisting for cop and EMS, and obviously licenses. It's pretty decent, but pretty similar to what a lot of other people have. It's play info menu. It's not the best, but it does show you everything you need and a lot more than most, so it's nice to have. We got our shekels, which is just money. You got savings, and then we got war points. So war points you'll get every time you kill someone inside of a KOS area. So any of the red areas, if you kill someone, you'll get 1 war point. You obviously can't kill the same person twice, and it also doesn't work for members of your gang, so you dupers probably don't try that. But yeah, so the warpoint shop's currently down here, but that'll be removed by a release and moved into the KOS zone. This is going to be one massive KOS area, high-end gear. And basically, I haven't done the map editing yet, so well, I don't know who's going to be doing the map editing, but it's going to be a really well map edited combat area, so you guys can, basically this will be the hotspot for all the PvP, but also where you obtain the really good stuff. So there's not going to be ATMs in this area, which means that was not play of the game, was it? There's not going to be ATMs in this area, so you will have to risk bringing money from another area, and a lot of money at that, to be able to get like the really high-end stuff. So at the moment there's just a gun store here, but there's also going to be the warpoint shop, which you'll be able to, obviously your warpoints are just stored and you can't lose them, so you don't risk losing them when you want to buy stuff with it, but there will be high-end vehicles and armed vehicles as well. So Rebel Shop's just going to have like the regular 5.56s, maybe some scopes, maybe a few 7.62s or just basic guns. But if you want the really strong stuff, you're going to have to come here. If you want tanks and shit, you have to come here. If you want like Lamborghinis and the really good D3S cars, you also have to come here. So basically this just creates a really good hotspot. It also gives people the ability to earn more war points by fighting here. And overall, it's just a nice area for PvP and combat, so gangs don't get bored. Some more PvP stuff we have are all of the capture zones. So if you see all the yellow things on the map, or for some reason this one's stuck red, but when they're being captured, they turn red and it will say contested, so and so. So if we go to the capture zone here, you can see that once you scroll on it, pretty much typical area you'd see in a capture zone. You can test the area until you've finished, and then you own it. And once you own it, that is how you gain gang XP and gang funds. So I think it's like 5 or 10 minutes, you'll get a certain amount of gang funds and a certain amount of gang XP will go straight into your gang bank. And obviously that's how you can make some easy money as well if you control all these hideouts, because obviously per one you make that amount. So if you own all 3, then you're going to be making way more. Now on top of this, we also have a capture point for the checkpoint, which is exactly the same, but it also is a way for people to turn the checkpoint into a KOS area and basically, just cause out of chaos. And when people try and take over the checkpoint, it's always pure roleplay and can just end chaotic, whereas this gives you and NATO a direct goal. NATO, they obviously can come back here and raise the flag and then take it away from you, and you have to continue trying to defend it. Once you're all dead, NATO takes it back, and that's just pretty much it. So we have, I'll get into that when I talk about insurgents later on. We have typical airdrops, pretty much. Once an airdrop's called in, it'll drop randomly. I think there's also random airdrops around the map, but basically it's just an airdrop with some pretty nice, hard to get loot that creates another PvP hotspot. We have organ dealers on the map. I'll show you. Oh, fucking hell, I've done that 3 times. I'm actually brain dead. Okay, I'll turn on God mode quickly because I'm a fucking clown. We'll go into Virtual Us and we'll get myself a gun, and I'll show you the body looting and the harvesting of organs. Alright, mate, I need to kill you and test the body looting and the organ harvesting. Wait, which one's you? Who the fuck's this? This is just my prop, mate. As you can see in the chat, there's a nice kill feed as well. It shows my gang, shows that May's not in a gang, he's just a civilian. So at the moment, there isn't the option, but on release, as per voted in the community votes on the Discord, you'll be able to strangle someone if you manage to get to them. So if you're winning a fight, or you're in a position where you've killed someone and you're safe from their gang members, you'll be able to strangle them, and it'll basically just do an animation for say 30 seconds, and it'll force them to respawn. So at the moment, I can't loot the body or harvest organs because he's in a bleeding out state. But once he's respawned or completely bled out, the time has run out, you're able to loot the body, which I'll show to you shortly. That's the same for harvesting organs also. So looting body and harvesting organs is the same. I'll quickly show you while we do this what the organs is. So you harvest the organs and it will give you 1 liver, and then you can come to an organ dealer and I see I don't have it on me so you can't see, but you'll be able to click the liver here, click sell, and it'll make you a decent amount of money. So you can, basically by winning gunfights, you can make money as if you were doing a drug run. I'll show you some other stuff while we wait for his body to despawn. Let me know when it's ready.
Yep. 10 seconds.
Alright, so 10 seconds, so we'll just quickly show off the weapons factory. So there's nothing currently in the weapons factory. I had money on me actually, so I'll just come back and I'll come back to that later. So we go to the body, and I won't harvest the organ, so you can only do one of the 2. Obviously, it despawns the body once you loot it, but harvesting organs, it would give you the liver the same way as it loots body. So here, we're looting the body. Monkey, bro. Alright, so the 30-second animation continues, and all this stuff drops on the ground. Obviously, he didn't have too much, but it strips the stuff out of all his clothes and stuff as well and drops them on the floor. So you got his robe, his backpack, and everything that was inside of whatever he had. It doesn't drop it as like a hole like this, so you can loot it. It just strips it all straight onto the floor, which could be good, could be bad. Obviously, there's plenty of anti-dupe measures in place for that, so don't even think about that, dupers. We have delivery points all over the map with arms dealers and a bunch of other stuff. It's pretty basic stuff, but it is just extra content for you guys to do. There's meth runs, iron runs, all the other stuff. We have a presidential system where you can run for president. There's not too much involved in that, but you'll find out more about that once you play the server. The drug dealer is also a capturable point, so it's not KOS until you're capturing it, but once you've captured it, it goes red and becomes a KOS zone. So what the drug dealer will do is once you own it, everyone that sells to this drug dealer will be taxed 25%. So if they don't want to be taxed, there's no way to deny the tax like some servers have had. The only way to do this is if you capture the drug dealer yourself. So that's creating another PvP hotspot, and we'll have some good gang vs gang combat, as well as forcing people to actually fight if they want to make easy money rather than just doing drug runs and getting away with it, making millions. We got the Takistan National Bank, which is pretty typical. Once it's being robbed, an alarm goes off like so. That is pretty fucking aged, so I'm going to get away from that. But there's some pretty nice map editing in Razman. As you can see here, the National Bank's got some hedges and shit. There's a nice Daisy Church, a bunch of apartments and some other shit that'll create some good PvP. Over here we have the standard... Oh, this is the detention facility, sorry, not the NATO base. So, it's pretty basic. We haven't got too many unique buildings yet, but still a lot different to the typical servers, so it should play out alright, and we can change it up in the future anyway. Obviously, everything is subject to change, and this is all just pre-release stuff. We'll change everything based purely on what the players want and your feedback, but as of right now, this is what we got. This is the NATO HQ. Pretty standard. I'll show you more when I'm on NATO. What haven't we gone over yet? That's important. I guess we didn't really show the factory, but it's there's not too much to show because it hasn't been complete yet. But basically, you'll be able to buy, you'll be able to craft weapons and do a bunch of other stuff there, and obviously there'll be perks and different stuff to change that. So what we got here is the special equipment dealer. This is where you'll get special equipment to be able to rob certain places, break into certain places, etc. So you get the USB stick, so you can hack into the stock exchange, transmitter, and a bunch of other stuff. And speaking of that, there's a radio tower major crime, which I'll show off now. So we have the radio tower. It's a pretty sad map edit at the moment. I don't know. It might play out alright, but it's obviously got some work. We have a lot of map editing to do currently. None of this current map editing is staying. We'll be completely revamping everything, so it plays out really well. We got combat in mind and how our actual situations would be played out when we're creating all the scenarios. So we don't want it to be complete shit. But basically, this really doesn't help because we deleted it earlier, but there's meant to be if you know Green Mountain on Chinaris, there is one of those big spire buildings here, and inside of the spire there is a major crime that you can start. So obviously you break the door here, climb the spire, there's a computer at the top, and once you've hacked the radio or blown up the radio tower, what it does is it reduces the radio distance of all NATO members, and it also reduces or changes the way their map markers work. So it really fucks them up until they've fixed it, meaning it's a priority for NATO or TMP to fix this major crime, and they really need to play it right so they win it. Otherwise, they're really far down. Is it automatic? Otherwise, could you jump on TS and tell AK not to? Alright, so server restarting soon. We'll try and get some shit out of the way so we don't have to do a few different cuts. So we go to Rebel. There's nothing really here yet. As I said, all the map editing will be revamped, but it's pretty standard Rebel. The only thing different to most servers is there's a loadout system, so you can save your loadouts and not have to fucking rebuy all your shit. I can't show you the loadout system at the moment because we haven't completed the economy. It's all just basic shit. None of the shops are actually properly done. But pretty much you'll be able to click loadout menu, save your loadout, blah blah blah, and then next time you'll just be able to fast buy it. Obviously all these items here are different to most servers. We have Y menu armor, so there's light, medium, and heavy. These will give you different amounts of extra protection, which is pretty nice as it's a Y menu item and just adds on to you. We got all the charges and stuff for different major crimes and doing different tasks. We got the cable ties for tying people up, lockpicks, all the basic stuff like that, toolkit, medkit, just different textures, really does the same thing as you typically expect it to. So that's most of the stuff for Civ. There's some other stuff, but we don't need to get into literally every small thing, as you guys can experience that once you play it yourself. But we'll go check out Insurgent, and then actually there's one more cool thing that I will show you before I jump over. So if you go here, you'll see Hitmen. It's not complete yet. It probably will be complete either the first patch after release or on release, depending how much work we get out of the way prior to release. But pretty much you can go here, click request a killing, and it will tell you how much it costs, set target, yes, and then that will send it to the Insurgents, and the Insurgents is another faction on top of police, EMS, whatever. They're like a terrorist insurgent, and what it does is they will get they can accept it and track people with intel, and they'll be able to go kill the person and claim the bounty. Obviously, it's not KOS, they'll still have to initiate and shit, but it just gives something to do for the insurgents, and if you want someone dead, well, you can put a hit out on their head. So we'll jump over to Insurgent and show you what that's like. Alright, so you spawn in here. I had to cut there because music plays that I don't know whether it's copyrighted or not, so we won't talk about that, but a song you probably all know plays, and you obviously spawn in a terrorist cave. That's just May blowing up, don't worry about that. You can come to this shop here. It's just high-end weapons they can use to carry out their tasks, but pretty much, if I can get it, here we go. We got Get Bombing Mission and Gather Intel. If you click Gather Intel, it's kind of the same as the hit. You can set a target thing, but you can also gather intel, and you have a timer, and obviously it shows you where they are on the map. So where's Wex? Where's Wex? I don't actually know where he is. I think he might be in debug or something. Let's see. Where are you at, Mr. I don't know where that is. It's really not helping. Anyway, it gives you a map marker, their location, for a certain amount of time, so you can carry out a task of killing them if you need to, or tracking them down because they're NATO. So, it just allows you to track down NATO members and find what they're doing to carry out insurgent tasks. But if there's a hit on a NATO member, then that can also help you with that. And then obviously Get Bombing Mission is another thing against NATO. So Insurgent's basically completely against NATO. Well, NATO's going to be called TMP, but you get the gist. So you click Get Bombing Mission. You've been designated to bomb a target. Go to the location on your map and place the bomb. Then you go into your inventory and you have a bomb, and you can place it too far from the target so it doesn't work. Mission won't work, but it'll come up with bombing target. Let's see, where did my bombing target get put? Here we are, bombing target. So this is the place, and NATO will be alerted of this, and they'll have to go defend the area and kill the insurgent that goes to blow it up, and you got to blow it up, and you'll get a payout and rewards based on whether you succeed with the mission. And obviously you can kill NATO and stuff there, so this is just some extra content for insurgents to be able to do. I didn't go over the extra major crimes and stuff, but on top of the ones we did there's some extra major crimes that don't really do too much to other stuff, and they're not that unique, but they will in the future. So we can see here, here's the track on Nether. You can see exactly what he's doing at the moment. Oh, no, actually that's because he's also an insurgent, but it'll be like this except blue for the other people that you track. So there's not too much more to go over for Insurgent. Obviously you can get suicide vests and a bunch of other stuff. All the real goodies that people love. Dead Man Switch, all that gist. And blow up. So now we'll go on to NATO and we'll talk about that. Alright, so now we got NATO. It's pretty standard to most techies, with or TMP being just the typical fucking, police force. You carry out your police duties, whatever. You got to fight insurgents compared to most servers where they don't have that. You got all the typical items here, gear shop, or your clothes, whatever. But a big thing that's different and quite unique feature is the threat level. So obviously you can raise the threat level in any server and it goes to amber, red, whatever. But then there's also martial law now, and this martial law is different to normal martial law. So when this martial law is called, it'll declare to the entire server that the threat level has been set to martial law. One sec. There we go. It has to be lowered before I can set it. And it gives this message to the entire server. Martial law has been declared for the next 30 minutes. Bring back peace, Takistan, blah, blah, blah. He'll just stay indoors. So what this does is it gives NATO for 30 minutes the ability to see every single player on the entire map. So I can see May, I can see Jim Rogers, whatever. And obviously the icons will be different, but yeah, they're civilians right now and I can see them. So this is when complete utter chaos has happened and they need to restore, they need to restore the peace back to Lake Rasman and the north of the border. So this pretty much forces anyone to go south of the border, because if they were going to take a fight against NATO while they have map markers on and they can kill anyone on site that has a gun, I mean, you're not going to win that fight regardless. Not only are NATO going to zerg you, but they literally have a live tracker of your location. So that's a pretty nice feature, but aside from that, NATO is pretty standard. NATO can take out loans as well. There's this typical warrant system. You'll be able to add charges here. You know, escaping jail, add, you can pardon 15 counts of robbery, blah, blah, blah. But aside from that, pretty much everything's the same. Skill tree's got some cop stuff to it. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much the server. We have a lot more features planned and a lot of unique stuff coming. We're going to be continuously pushing updates pretty much weekly or small hotfixes and small updates daily, but you know, try and push big updates at least one, like every 1 to 2 weeks. So we're constantly pushing content. We'll be taking all suggestions from players that are put into the Discord and on the forums into account, and we'll be trying to cater to exactly what you guys want. So if there's any feature I've showed today that you guys think is shit, well, feel free to say so. But obviously, this is a pre-release video. There's a lot of stuff that's subject to change, and obviously, heaps of this stuff is still not completely complete, so we could have way more. But overall, that's most of the stuff on the server. So thank you all for watching. I hope you do enjoy. Check out the server in the description, and I'll see you Rans in the next video.